I'm in the interesting bit now. I'm far away. I didn't use my battery, so now I've got a full battery even though I'm miles away from home. And on the flat, I'm not going to use my battery because I'm going somewhere kind of far away. And I've got my map on here just in case, so that I don't get lost and then have to use more battery. So energy management is extremely important. Till I turned the camera on, I was listening to a book. And yeah, so it's a beautiful foggy day. It was about 16 degrees C when I left. I guess it's 19 now or 18. Foggy, but it's warm. I've got a windbreaker on. Just in case, but I think I'll take it off and stuff it in my bag pretty soon. Yeah, so this is very nice up here. I'm cycling in between São Martinho de Porto and Nazaré. These roads up along the hillside. It's very lovely. Beautiful little hidden away homes and Airbnbs here in case you want to come and stay a couple months or whatever. They've got lovely houses with swimming pools and whatnot here and there that you can rent long term. So yeah, they're building some new homes also. It's really nice here because São Martinho de Porto is close by and Nazaré is close by, and these are really lovely locations. And you're by the ocean, you can walk down to the beach.
Take the next right at Praia de São, then turn left on the Rua Bartolomeu Dias.
All right, you can barely hear that instruction. So here's the right and the left. I could go down that way, but I'm not going to do it. I'll do this way. It's a little bit easier.
Take the next left on the Rua Bartolomeu Dias. Continue on Rua Bartolomeu Dias for 4 kilometers.
So now I'm on the top end. I was going to go on the lower road, but maybe if I didn't turn this on, I would have done that. But again, I'm trying to manage my energy consumption, my battery life, so that I can do this longer trip. So it's probably better that I use this road rather than the other more narrow ones. Because if I were going to just explore that area, I would go ahead and do it because I'd be turning around sooner. But I plan on going to this Igreja that I heard was, this small chapel that I heard was refurbished. And I'm exploring a location for a scene I want to shoot in my film. And I'm thinking it could be a cool location. I can fly a drone down there. And so on. So, you know, it's a good excuse for a bicycle ride. Get some work done while I get my HIIT training, high intensity interval training. Try to maintain my health and fitness. My sleep is getting better. course, I haven't been drinking at all. I stopped the wine Friday because it turned into a wine Saturday. And that's because when I get together with friends, we don't stop drinking until we say goodbye. So turns out to be a binge. And then what'll happen is the next day I'll be cooking lunch or whatever, and I'll say, well, it'll be a lot easier to get through this a couple glasses of wine. Usually that's all there is that I do, but still. The problem is the blood pressure, the poison at my age, harder to metabolize. And I'm working really hard now. It turns out that the time-restricted diet isn't as important as just calorie restriction and not eating too late at night and maintaining your protein levels so that you can keep your muscle. At my age, very important to keep our muscle. So I'm doing weight training and so on and cycling, and then I want to have enough protein to maintain my muscle mass, but I need to get rid of that subcutaneous, I keep getting them mixed up, the different kinds of fat. Visceral fat, the fat in your organs, around your organs, that build up either because of diet or sugar or pathologies or alcoholism or whatever. And eventually I want to get rid of that, which will mean that I'll probably be back to 185 pounds, and I'm well over that right now. Not good. So I just imagine what I might feel like out and about at 185 pounds or 85 kilos, or whatever, even somewhere between 185 and 190 would be awesome for me. When I was young and had muscle, I weighed around, between 180 and 183, but I had a lot of muscle mass, and I didn't have all that visceral fat. So, metabolic syndrome is a thing. I don't have it. I don't have type 2 diabetes. I monitor my blood pressure. So far, so good. Anything can happen. But I just want to feel good. And I find when I'm working, I can't have the brain fog. I have to have a good night's sleep. I have to be fit because it takes a lot of energy. And it's not really the physical stuff, because you can sit down and take breaks and whatever, but even though it is grueling being on your feet all day, 12, 14 hours, but even sitting and writing is grueling. But it's mentally exhausting. And that's what I find to be the thing that I have to really take care of, is my mental energy. Because I ain't getting any younger. I'm just not going to be that clever kid, smartest dude in the room kind of thing. I don't know. And also, just because of the way I live now, I find that your mind is much more fit when you have people to talk with and work with day in and day out. It keeps you on your toes. Your language skills are maintained. Your interpersonal skills, theory of mind, all that stuff. Anyway, you're on your toes, and if you're separate from that, even if you're using Zoom and riding a lot and all that kind of stuff. Salgado. Yeah, so that's that. So, yeah, this neighborhood is really nice. I love it here. You can't see anything, it's too foggy. Sorry about that. But it'll clear up a little later. I'm filming in 4K, so I have limited battery and card space. So I'll just make my point about staying fit. And I'll shut it off until I get down below. I'm going to keep rolling because it's a really interesting neighborhood. And even with the fog, you can see something. And if I run out of card, I run out of card. So I'm surprised there's a lot more. I haven't been on this particular road, and there's a lot more housing than I thought. From below you can see a little bit, but when I've been down on the beach looking up, you can't see everything from that angle. And yeah, usually I don't use my Google on my bike because I don't mind getting lost. But like I said, if I'm going to be on a long trip, I'm already lost. Or maybe not. Yeah, gee, now I'm wondering where I'm gonna get down. Yeah, sometimes I don't trust Google. But anyway, like I said, I was hoping that it would just be a more direct route, saving me battery. Because I don't mind getting lost and so on, but you can burn through your whole battery just going down the wrong roads. I have various modes on my bike, so I have to work a little harder going up this hill because I don't have it in turbo mode. Again, to save battery. And like with your smartwatch or whatever, you're looking at your stress and your body battery.
Take the next left at Rua Bartolomeu Dias.
To maintain your energy through the day. It's really important. I think people in project-based work that requires you to be on your feet all day you really have to mind your energy. So you can see the fog rolling through. I'm right on the top of the hill now. I could have gone just straight. I don't know why I turned way back there. But it's nice. Now I'm concerned because shit, this is all a mess. Okay, well, I wasn't gonna go down that dirt road. The road's on the map, but it's not a good road. So now I need to go out of my way and back again. I think if I had just minded my intuition, it would have been better. So using the map was not a great idea. Now the sun's starting to break through. Bicycle click. Look at that. It's starting to clear up. So now I have to go down and then around. It'll be interesting going back the way I thought I was going to come. And see how that works. My problem is going back, I have a lot of climbing elevation and I really need the battery for that. On the flat I can just cycle, but going up these hills I need that battery, so that's what I'm saving it for going home. After a long trip, you're pretty exhausted on the way home, and you know, my butt muscles aren't what they used to be. So sad, not sexy. And the thing that really bothers me most is not just, you know, you're tired. That's okay. I don't mind, you know, quote unquote good tired. But what I don't like is the way my ass feels. Ouchie. I got padding on my seat and I'm wearing padded cycling shorts. That doesn't help much. Yeah, so I'm not using the battery. So I'm going to turn left down here. Originally I was going to come through this way and then go out this way. So, but it's different now.
Take the next left.
There are different ways I can go back, and it's just like, which way is closer? Shorter distance. So here I go, finally, down into this area. So I like this area. Cows, goats, lots of goats. And I'm a big goat fan. I like goats. Goats are good. And there's a big goat operation down here, goat herder. I like goat herders. You know, you're just quiet. You're out there with your goats and your dogs. Or sheep herders. Herders are kind of cool. They're, you know, quiet. Just enjoying the day, watching, taking care of the animals. Am I romanticizing goat herding? I know a lot of really smart people that gave up a lot to have sheep. I'm gonna leave Manhattan and I'm gonna have sheep somewhere. Whoa, this is quite a facility. There's a facility. They were doing something there. They got ovens. This was quite an operation. Holy cow, now I have to go up here to get to this Igreja. Oh my God. This is gonna be... Oh no, this is wrong. Thank God it's wrong,
Continue
man.
for 2 kilometers.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So, yeah, that's a great way to use a lot of battery. Going on a sandy road uphill. Woo-wee, that's energy intensive. So, there was an operation back in the day. So those are the sand dunes right at the beach. On the other side of those sand dunes, there's some cliffs and some beach. Very beautiful. Yeah, so this is like, you know, forest bathing. And you'll notice not much traffic. So it's quite good.
Take the next right.
Yeah, since I know where I am,
Continue for 1.5 kilometers.
I'm gonna shut this thing off. Save my phone battery. Look at that. So, let me shut, I don't know, I'll just let it roll. You can see this little zone, and then when it runs out, it runs out. What you gonna do? I've got my pocket cam. There's the sign for the Igreja São Gião. Igreja de São Gião. Well, another thing good is it's as a location is that I can get a van in here and people, and I don't think it'll be a place that I have to permit. A lot of it's guerrilla, you know, you have to be careful about extras and insurance. So you're just in and out. Save some production cost. It's nice down here. It's kind of interesting with the fog effect. This is not DaVinci Resolve. This is all in camera. People pay attention to weird stuff. It's hard for me now to to listen or look at people's comments or things like that, or listen to the news or read the news, because it's all coordinated for effect. It's not just information put out there so that you can think about it and come to a conclusion and then take action. It's there purely to manipulate people emotionally and intellectually and get you to do things. It's like this nudge thing. And it's coordinated across platforms, and it's so sophisticated now. So honestly, the only way you can try to guard against it is to read books and then think things through. Look at the sources that the author has listed.
200 meters, your destination will be on the left.
Oh my God, the map is still on. Shit. So this is it, the destination. So
Destination is on the left.
this little water infrastructure is cool. That was bringing water down. So I'm gonna wander around this place a little bit and take some pictures. I thought it had been refurbished, but apparently not. But that's okay, it's cool. So here we are. Checking this out. These things scare me because I get punctures from those. Isn't this interesting? Carries water. It's like an aqueduct. I don't know if there's another name for it besides aqueduct, but that's what it is. I don't think it's that old, but it's very cool. The old technology, it works. Something to take advantage of gravity. So cool. Deep gravity, dudes. So, this was a chapel at some point. Oh. Can't see it, but that's an F-16. Two F-16s in the clouds. So check that out. That's really cool. Yeah, it's very interesting here. This is prime. Have a look at this building. This is really prime. Don't think I need to use my microphone because it's not that windy. So here's kind of cool. Look at that architectural feature there, that column. That is beautiful. They did some work on it. You can see they've done work and some plastering. I don't know if they're planning to restore this, whoever they are, the government, the freguesia. But it's very interesting. I like it. It's worth the ride. So check this little architectural element. See that? The stones sticking out? I love that. That's beautiful, man. Look at that. Very, very nice. So those are beautiful trees up there. Can you hear the birds? Another cool thing to do is to come here with a recorder and a good mic and just record the wild sound. I love birds and stuff. Record the wild sound and use that. Yeah, so that was my objective. So on the way back, just gonna see what road I'll use. I'm not gonna use any maps. And I'll let the Osmo action roll until it runs out. Hope it's not too boring. Yeah, I like the location. It's good. Maybe I'll use it for a short little bit of a scene. I don't know. But it's fun to find these places, and on my way down here actually, I discovered another shortcut to get out this way from my place, and it was great. It just shaved a lot of time off of the trip. And so, you know, you want to get out there and basically halfway back and have almost all of your battery on my bike, because it's a nightmare going up the hills, and then when you can't climb the hills because it's a heavy bike because of the battery, and then you don't have the right gear ratio to go up a really steep hill on this thing. A lot of people here for some reason. A lot of sand. Check this out. Oh my God. Wow, sand buggy. Wow. That was deep sand, man. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun when you find these places and you find new ways of getting there. And then when I take my friends out in the car, I have these places and they're like, how the heck did you find this place? Obviously, if you're looking, you just use Google Maps, but or whatever map software you use. But you know, some people don't think of it, and it's just you randomly discover these things on your bicycle. I always find new roads and new parks and stuff. There's another park in Benedita that I found that has lots and lots of fantastic dirt trails, miles, kilometers of it that you can explore. You know, you just go down a different way each time you go over there, and it's a lot of fun. And I think they hunt boar in there. So yeah, I wouldn't go there in the evening. Oh dear. I hope it doesn't get too sandy, because that's going to be a problem. See this? Oh man, that's it. I ran into a little hiccup. So I'll shut off my battery and I'll have to just muscle this through here. Yeah, you never know. These roads. This is a dune buggy road, but it might get more solid after a little bit. Just over this little dune here, this with all the vegetation, the trees, is the beach. I could walk down the beach. I don't know if you, I've never tried cycling on the compacted part near the water before. Might be kind of fun. It's a huge beach. Yeah, I think you can hear I can hear the waves. I don't think you can. So this is getting a little bit harder now to surface the road. So I might be able to cycle. Yeah, give it a shot. See what happens. Yeah, I just had that one patch that was really loose sand, but this is doable along here. And I don't have the battery on now. I'm just cycling without the motor. And it's doable so far. Oops, 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 oops. You have to muscle through this stuff. Oh, that's the end of that. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's very powdery sand. I'll turn it on when I get through this. That's a cool tree. Pine. See, I know the name of some trees. A pine tree. So, pushing the bicycle through the soft sand is proper exercise. Again, the motor's off. It's flat. It's nice. It's a very pleasant place to cycle. Whoa. Again, whoops. Check that out, man. See this really fine sand? This is total dune buggy zone. Look at this. My wheels just sink into it. That is super dune buggy. You can see the dune buggy tracks. It's so quiet here. I'm so glad there aren't any dune buggies. But that's what this place is for. That kind of recreation. I haven't seen any signs saying you can't bring vehicles here, and I see the vehicle track, so I see another bicycle track as well, mountain bike. A lot of corn here, cornfield, big huge cornfield. So yeah, if you can turn off your battery and ride along a place like this, it's quite comfortable because you don't need to go fast. Whoa! Squirrely. Squirrely. Yeah, so you read the long form stuff and try to get a broad understanding of things. And then the news is just garbage. You know it's just there to manipulate us because we don't have time to know what's going on, and even if we did, we don't have any power. The thing they're afraid of, right, the powers that be, is just the mob. So Andrew Tate and Elon Musk and all those asshole trolls, got everyone wound up when that stabbing incident happened in the UK. And it just was a switch to get all the wingnut freak far-right fascist assholes out in the street to cause trouble. And that's what they did. And, you know, it's like a switch. You just have people like Elon Musk. You know, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. Elon Musk owns Twitter, right? And they have a huge platform with tons and tons of users. And they can put out some tweets or whatever stuff on their Reddit page or their Telegram or whatever the hell they use, Instagram, and rile people up. All sides will say that, you know, TikTok is used to rile up left-wing communists, and but right-wingers can use TikTok, and they have their own platforms, so they get all riled up. But the good thing to see was all these people, a couple days later, after a bunch of people have been beaten up and assaulted and places burned down and whatnot, masses of people going out in the street and saying, no, get off our streets. We're not going to let you behave like this. That was awesome. And of course, these actions, mass actions or protests, call it what you will, are also orchestrated and planned, and they use messaging systems and whatever, so you can use it for whatever you think is good or bad. You know, support Trump, don't support Trump, whatever. The tools are there, but people who have the most resources can really, really marshal these tools to do a lot of good or bad. And it's amazing how powerful they are. You know, we get up in the morning, we check our feeds, and immediately, you know, we're locked in. MSNBC or something, whatever you look at. When think tanks, non-governmental organizations backed by wealthy backers, starts a Breitbart or some other outlet, they have an agenda. You know, they want this to be disseminating information and stories that they like, and people just lock into it, and then they get really narrow-minded if you beg to differ or use some other source they don't like. And it's funny, you know, people complain about sources. So-and-so did a bad thing. You can't trust him. Well, all these people we elect have done bad things. Most people have, right? So it's really easy to dox people or to smear them, ruin their reputation. It's not that hard. And it happens all the time. Everybody's involved with it, not just one outlet. So all sides use these tools. So the people come out, and then of course there's all this communication that fucking communists are out there telling the right-wingers not to get pissed off that there's foreigners living in their country. Well, that's the price of being a colonial empire for hundreds of years. The price of success. Hola, bom dia. Bom dia.
Obrigado.
Interessante. Hola. Bom dia, bom dia. So there you go. Nazare, water, fun, rent me. So this is, you put on the goggles, the tourists, and the gear, and you go out and get dusty and drive around these few places that are not paved in between villages. It's like a safari. Oh man, in Mallorca and other parts of Spain and other places, the locals are saying, get out of here, tourists, we're sick of you. They're tired of being overrun. And for decades, all these nice places have been taken over and turned into, tourist spots. So they're not, I always complain about that because I traveled decades ago. You can see the difference. So there's pushback on that level. It's like if they're not getting up that hill there. If the revolution happens or whatever, the paradigm shift, the sudden whatnot, the savior comes. What's next? That's always, I have no idea. Like, the French Revolution, what happens after you win? It's so hard to predict. And even if it has the best intentions, it can be co-opted by bad people and just revert back to a Machiavellian game again. Wow. So going up here, this is crazy, man. Now I'm thinking the beach was a good idea. Holy shit. I have no idea where that comes out. Shit. I want to go over this sand dune. I hear people talking. Look at this, folks. So I want to go over this sand dune and onto the beach. So, you can argue about Bolsheviks and the Russian Revolution. Was Che Guevara a good guy or a bad guy? Castro, whatever. Choose your right winger, your left winger. What happened to these movements, to these revolutions? It's complicated, because maybe some of them would have worked out if they hadn't had foreign interference, people from other countries. So these guys are having a big challenge. So they're gonna go up over these mountains on that track in those dune buggies. Yeah, could be pretty exciting actually. So this is nice. I think I'll pause and take a picture. Have a look at these wonderful sand dunes. I'm just taking my bicycle across to the beach. Maybe I can ride on the beach close to the water, maybe not, but it's a straight shot to where I'm going, so it'll be easier than going up over those hills and mountains where I have no idea where it's going to come out. I don't know how long I've been out already. My watch is on, covering this trip, so It's hard for me to figure. I have to stop and look at it. Now, which way do I want to go? Guess I'll just go this way. Have a look. All right, I'm going to go up that hill. Well, I'm not complaining, but that was a lot harder than it looked. It's steeper than I thought. And a heavy bike, so I take a couple steps in the sand and then push the bike up and take a couple more steps, push the bike up. I guess my heart is okay because that was a bit of a workout. And I don't think I need to do any weight training over the weekend. It's harder than you think pushing this bike through sand going up that hill. But anyway, what a beautiful place. Look at this. I love the ground cover. We gotta make room for nature to evolve and be. Natural services, natural capital, baby. But we won't. That's not the way our thing is organized. This thing of ours is not organized to give a shit. Some people do, obviously. We make efforts, but they're always tiny compared to what's needed. Now these little plants are cool, aren't they? Very nice. I'm trying to avoid stepping on them. I'm not a Jane, but you know, reduce my impact. So here I am at the beach, folks. It's nice, isn't it? Hoo-wee. Once I get down here, I'll take some other shots. I don't think I can ride on this beach. It's not hard enough. Look at the surf. Man. Wow, superb. Volkenfleck. Meine viewers. Yeah, this is, it's fun to do this with friends, but I always feel like I'm dragging people off into something. Stephen, why do we have to push our bikes up this sand dune? Some of my friends are cool, they just go along with it. And they don't mind at all, but I always worry I'm getting somebody into something. I might as well give you an idea of what it's like to push this bike along this strand. Here come the waves. I have no idea how far or how long it's going to take to push this to where I can get out onto a road again. Something really good about waves, the ocean. The ocean mist, forest bathing, all that stuff. It's good for you. Anybody who can do this is lucky. And do it in peace, without any hassles. And there are so few people on this beach. I think, obviously for sun worshippers it's not good, but there are people on the beach relaxing, hanging out. Yeah, there's plenty of naked folks too. Isn't good for the bicycle. I got hit by a wave.
Nice set. Beach break.
So that was a 27-minute walk on the strand, and now I see structures. So I don't know how many more minutes it is to get there, but I got hit with water, so I hope there's a shower there. I can shower the bicycle. Man, that was a trek. So here I am. I have arrived, and I've been pushing. So not a bad workout for a 66-year-old. Whew! I'm running out of time, folks. I gotta get my masterpiece done. I've got to worm my way into your living rooms on the streaming platforms before I can't trek around like this anymore. Can't trek around like this anymore. Da 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 da. Whew. So here's some surface finally. That's looking so good. That surface there. Oh man. Almost. I think it'd be cool if they had an Olympic sport where you had to follow clues and circumnavigate the world. And it starts before the Olympics open. And it ends during the opening ceremony, that race. So you already have a gold medal when the opening ceremony started. Whew. So I found a water source and I was able to rinse off my bike. Get some of the salt water off of it. I'll have to wash it when I get home. But that was good anyway, because my bike got doused with salt water from the ocean. Not a good thing. So now I'm gonna have to use power. Uh-oh. Greasy fingers, smearing shabby clothes. Yeah, aqualung big time, folks. That was a thing. Now I've got to figure out I don't know how my chain came off. But anyway, this is what the motor's for, people. Get back up the hill, hoping I can have enough juice. Because this elevation is just one zone. And then there's another one. Yeah, I go up over here and then I gotta go up over a couple different hills. And even though I haven't used my battery much, some bars are going down. It's concerning. So this road I think I could use, but I'm not going to take a chance. I got to get up to the top of the ridge here, and then I can coast and turn off the motor. Yeah, so that was a 30-minute walk. This lap, total lap, on my bicycle, my watch, Garmin watch, has been 45 minutes. So normally it would be about 10. So that's the difference, walking and riding. Yeah, so it was nice. That was a workout. Wouldn't recommend pushing an electric mountain bike down a beach for several kilometers. But yeah, you start this round the world navigation thing, and these people start before the opening ceremonies and try to arrive just before the opening ceremonies. And so when you open the Olympics, you already have a medal ceremony. Great idea, huh? I just think that kind of race would be cool. And whatever the rules are, like you can bike, you can walk, you can sail, something like that. That'd be wild, wouldn't it? Or you could take a train, let's say. That'd be a fun race. Yeah, so I'll be going up this thing for a while. When I see the fog rolling over the hill like this, reminds me of California, Marin County, Sonoma, Mendocino. California is a beautiful place. If you're prosperous and able to live in peace in that state, you're lucky, man. It's gorgeous. Forget all the nonsense. It's just a beautiful state. You know, there's so many great places there, and so many different climates and zones, tall mountains and deserts and verdant valleys and beaches. Oh my God, it's just utterly gorgeous. And Portugal's like a mini version of that. Doesn't have the high Sierra Mountains, things like that, you know, Lake Tahoe. It's not as big, not as populous, thank God. But, you know, it's got that kind of feeling, that kind of climate in certain areas of California that I really love. Right now it's chilly, but it's nice, you know, August 9th and chilly, foggy seaside, but I like it. So up here I don't have to worry about using my battery, which is good, saving it all for the hills. Get enough momentum, you can use your gears to get back up this hill. You don't really need your motor. Places like this. So yeah, I can conserve, thank goodness. Yeah, so it's like California in a lot of ways. Of course, we have the wine country. A couple really beautiful cities, Porto and Lisboa, that are exciting and diverse communities, lots of culture. It's nice. But I prefer living out here. It's easy to get to the city when you need it. Yeah, so you can go a fair clip without using the motor on this bicycle. Yeah, so people are manipulated and they do shit. You know, people went ape shit crazy about Black Lives Matter. Now it's so normal that black people are shot by police. And I'm not saying that, you know, more or less. I'm not doing the statistical work here, but you see it every week. Excessive force, people get shot. They don't get shot here. In this country, people don't get shot. Anyway, you got to shoot these people. So, you know, you go back to the 90s in LA and then all these different incidents in New York and the Midwest and so on, and people get pissed off about it and they act out, and not all the people acting out are good people. Some of them are thugs. No matter how you try to organize a peaceful protest or mass action, it can be co-opted and invaded by outsiders with bad intentions. Then everybody gets online and starts saying, you know, they're all bad people, you know, BLM, and, you know, it becomes an epitaph. And it never ends. This is just the latest iteration, the riots in the UK. But the fact that it happened across the UK was bizarre and scary. And it just shows you how easy it is for people to mob up and become fascistic. But it was also good to see the anti-racists come out, because let's just say it out loud, they're racist, those people. And they're bad racists. They're really ugly. And it was great to see people coming out at the counter-protest, and the fact that the counter-protest was bigger than the mobs of thugs. I love that. So that was a little bit of good news. Maybe there's hope that people fall on the good side. I don't know what else to call it, but good people with compassion and empathy and consideration, who are good parents, who want to see a nice future for people, and who want to protect the environment, blah, 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 blah. But maybe people can mob up, mass up, and organize. But the thing is, you'd really have to push back on all the big players and the deep state operatives and all of their organizations and corporations and institutions, agencies, and so on and so forth, because these serve corporate power and serve the profit-making machine. That's just the way it is. It's just the way we like it. So it's that way. But to push back against that, you know, you don't go talk to Jeff Bezos and say, I know you're a good guy and I know you're smart and all that, so, like, you know, will you pay more taxes? Like Piketty's book, or Hudson, one of Hudson's books, yeah. Jubilee, debt forgiveness. People are like, no way, man, that's good business, that is profitable. They're not going to listen to you. You know, you have to have a mob, you have to have masses of people saying, we're not going to stand for it. And then, of course, they'll get their right-wing thugs and private armies and everybody to push back, to break the union busters, remember that? To break the union, to bash in some heads. And maybe at some time in the future, people will be so sick of this bullshit that they'll say, I don't give a fuck if I get killed. because this is a ridiculous way to live. And maybe people will become inspired by some form of idealism and some ideology. But like I said, you know, what comes next? How is the transformation to the new normal is the hardest thing, because you've just come out of this insanity and you're starting to get things sorted out, and you have to translate the old to the new, and you have to maintain the reforms and build the culture and the consciousness moving forward. And that's really, really hard, you know. People get complacent and they get needy and greedy, and the infighting starts and the fracturing begins, and then you have all these problems. And it happens all over the place throughout history. So I don't know. It just seems to be cyclical. You have a good situation for a while, and then somebody comes and destroys it. Oh well. I just think it's so sad to imagine a future where people are afraid. I think I'll take the short way. I could take you through San Martino, but I don't even know what time it is now. That was a long trip. I found a cool restaurant. Very nice place, actually. Gonna have to come and check it out at some point. And at this restaurant, they have a service station and they have a power dot place to charge your electric cars. I had to walk my bicycle a bit because my backside hurts. It's just burned out. Too much time in the saddle. I'm going to take the shortcut. It's a really steep hill climb, but I think it'll be worth it. Shave some time off of the ride. I haven't used my motors, so I think I have enough power in my battery to make it up the last hill. The last hill always hurts because my backside hurts and the battery's low, so it doesn't have as much power as when it's full. And it's a steep climb. So I'm not looking forward to this. Going home is never that much fun.